You're listening to WYBF 89.1 FM in Radnor, Pennsylvania. Your host, Chuck Kiefer, here at Up at Night. You can follow us on Twitter and also on Facebook at Up at Night. Send us your prayer request. We care about you. We want to be a blessing to you. We want to be a positive encouragement in your life. In studio, I have Heath McNease, alias strangest white boy I've ever met. And people laugh when I say that. I said, but he's from Georgia.
Yeah.
They don't pave the roads.
No.
Our first gig together was our wrapping party for Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
And it was snowing. And you wandered in the building and you were wearing a Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and flip-flops. And there was 3 inches of snow on the ground. I said, he must be the rapper from Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. Dressed like Tom Selleck. Yeah, man. My cousin Jim actually just texted me and corrected me. Along Came Polly. I said it was a movie with Ben Affleck, and it's Ben Stiller. It's a completely different thing. It wouldn't be funny if Ben Affleck was in it, so thanks for correcting me, Jim. I appreciate that. He didn't text me to say good job. You're doing great. He texted me to correct me.
It's family.
That. Yeah.
It's family. It's family. I was raised in a household where everybody loves Raymond. I was Robert. And I've told my children for years, I understand guilt. And I know how to inflict it.
Sure.
Because I've had 56 years of guilt being inflicted upon me by my mama.
You're a surgeon at it.
Yes, I'm an expert.
Yeah.
I am second generation. Anyway, we're here talking about, we're going to change gears a little bit and go back to his C.S. Lewis stuff, which I happen to thoroughly enjoy. He's one of my favorite writers. Mere Christianity, Screwtape. Just, aside from the, have you read any of the stuff, the conversation between Tolkien and C.S. Lewis from their days in the club when they were going back and forth, and they were going back and forth talking about, I'm reading your stuff, you're reading my stuff, and the criticisms that were going back and forth.
There was some harsh criticism, not like, they were just honest with each other.
And as people, you look at the Lord of the Rings trilogy and the Hobbit and Tolkien's unbelievable layers of worlds that he created,
absolutely,
and realize he was the person responsible for C.S. Lewis coming to faith.
Yeah.
And just I wanted to be a fly in the room to hear those conversations.
Good
So
Lord. It would have been crazy, man. It would have been so crazy.
The track Mere Christianity. Now it's a unique because of the other people involved on it.
Yeah.
Why don't you give the listeners a little background on that song and where it's at now?
Well, first of all, with that song, thanks goes to my homie Plato, who is on it, and to Derek Webb, who is Derek Webb is the founder and owner of NoiseTrade.com, which is an amazing free music site. It's basically the iTunes of free music. And I've been a Derek Webb fan since I was a kid. And somewhere along the way, Derek Webb became a fan of mine. And so I was doing the remix for Mere Christianity. I thought, man, it would be a really fun combo to have me and Plato and Derek Webb on the same song, because all three of us kind of occupy this space as really, really devout believers who don't really do things very cookie cutter. And so we sort of get lumped together sometimes and just sort of left of center as musicians. And I thought the song turned out, so well. And to me, the thing that I took from Mere Christianity, the most important thing, was just the Lewis trilemma of liar, Lord, lunatic. And it's apologetically is the most important thing to me, because I'm not Ravi Zacharias, and I'm not Robert Evans, and I'm not William Lane Craig, and I don't have time to know every in and out of every bioethical discussion and every apologetic revelation that comes about. So to me, Liar, Lord, and Lunatic is very easy for me to understand, and it's very easy to talk to students about, and to people who are kind of having conflicts of faith to say, look, man, you don't throw the Old Testament out with the bathwater, but let's just say for a second that the Old Testament doesn't matter if the New Testament isn't real. If Jesus isn't who he says he is, then all of this other stuff that's really
Yeah.
complex and hard to understand doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And if you can't push on the Bible without the Bible pushing back, it's not worth the paper that it's printed on, and we all need to believe in something else or believe in nothing at all. And so just that idea of, you don't have to believe in Jesus. You really don't. Like, I respect everyone's belief systems and whatever they believe or choose not to believe. But I do think you need to do something with him. And I think that the thing that C.S. Lewis really tried to push people to feel is like to just say, I don't believe in this faith, but I think he was a good man. Is the tough part about that is if he was just a good man, then he was a crazy man. He was a crazy man who happened to be good. He was a lunatic who said that he was the Son of God and that he was going to rise on the third day. And, no man could come to the Father but through the Son. So he's a lunatic, or he was a liar, and he said all those things and didn't mean them, and people, gave their lives up for a lie.
I'm a bit involved in apologetics, and I do know some of the guys you mentioned and a few others, and I'm always blown away at the depth and hanging out with. I did dinner one night with Michael Licona, who's a Greek scholar who approached from a historical perspective, proving the resurrection through just historical facts.
Sure.
Which he did.
A lot of historical documentation.
250,000 words later.
Yeah.
And we were dining with Craig Keener, who's a brilliant New Testament scholar. He's now at Asbury. And I felt like a lost child hanging out with his guys. And the simple conclusion of apologetics is either Jesus was exactly who he said he was.
Yeah.
King, Lord, Redeemer of mankind, or he's the greatest fraud and liar in history. There's no in between. He's either who he is or who he isn't. And let's listen to the song, Mere Christianity. This is by Heath McNease on his Weight of Glory CD.
Awesome.